Right, welcome back to another WA preview for Bunbury on Saturday. It's the Bolton Sprint day. What are we, maybe a week, 2 weeks away from return to Belmont?
Next Saturday's
Saturday.
was, I believe, programmed as Bunbury and is back programmed as Belmont. So I think we'll be back.
Let's see how we go. Looking forward to that. Obviously, I think we'll touch on the news that came out of Racing Rant the end of last week with Gourd leaving us. Just wanted to send a message to everyone that may have knew him or know of him. Obviously, he was a big part of the rant. Both Sydney started off the WA previews with us as well. Always had a moral, so we'll do our absolute best to find one on tomorrow's program for Gourd. And yeah, look, just my condolences to all his friends, family, and obviously the racing rant community. It's yeah, shocking stuff to lose Gordon. He's going to be a hole that I feel like will never ever be filled. um,
No, certainly wouldn't. He was one of a kind.
yeah, that's it. But in true Gord fashion, he'll want us to keep kicking on, keep finding winners, keep betting. So that's what we'll do. We'll make sure turnover's up this week, and we'll roll straight into how you think the day will play, Toby. It's obviously a bit of rain yesterday.
Yeah, a bit of, sort of just before the meeting, but it was pretty heavy shower. Yeah, I think the track, it won't be sort of like it won't be a heavy in terms of how wet it is, but I think it'll get pretty choppy. I think the track's just starting to have had enough. So probably expecting those outside lanes to come into play again.
Awesome. Race number one is a 2-year-old event over the 5 furlongs. We have Vino Miss 420, Our Girl Can Run 460, Fiery Spark 480, Ripper Rupert $6, Pain in Red 750, Call Nick 8, and double figures the rest. How did you find this 2-year-old
Hard,
race?
very hard. You got
Yeah.
your favourite has had one public appearance where she went to the line under a hold. Looked like she had something to give in a pretty fast trial. Nothing's really come out of it yet, but yeah. So that's your starting point. That's your favourite, and you don't know much about it. She's by session, so she should get through the wet. Um, Not much form out of that trial yet. So the two horses have come out of it and haven't done much, but probably didn't trial as good as her. And then your second favourite's Our Girl Can Run, who first trial didn't really get warm without the blinkers, and second trial pushed out, but ran right away from them, won by 6 lengths. Drawn out, bit of speed in, could make it a little bit harder for her after leading against the fence in that trial. I think Slip the Jab would be looking to hold the front. I think Ripper Rupert sits to him as a stablemate. Yeah, tricky race. Cole Nick flopped on debut, actually trialled pretty good, but down the back straight, time was okay. Gets Pike, Ripper Rupert beaten by Split the G on debut after leading them up, I'm pretty sure, but drawn one here hurts. Yeah, there's just a lot of the chances have some convictions against them. Painted Red was pretty good on debut behind Twisted Steel, but draws the outside. Don't see how she gets into it. Um, Hard race.
It is. It is. I sort of look towards the one with race fitness on its side at this prep in Fiery Spark for the Wolf team. Comes out of that race where King of Light was very, very impressive. And the runner up, yeah, they gapped the field. So sort of a question mark on what the rest of the field was like. But no disrespect to Tash, but Tash to Sean McGruddy for the boss. And like I said, got the race fitness on what is going to be a wet track. I wouldn't surprise if we saw Fiery Spark improve second up
13
here.
first up, 13 first up back to 1,000 was just really weird placement.
It is very strange placement, and it's an obvious concern. Um,
And as a 1,200 meter winner on debut.
Yeah, who knows? But
Lots of convictions.
it is, yeah, it is. There is a lot of conventions. It's just more the fact that, yeah, race
I'm more meant
fitness.
against the whole field. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Race number two, when we load. Oh, this is boy oh boy.
We've got a
Uh,
400 meter 3-year-old plate.
it is, yes, over the 1400, Timeless Gem 310, Naughty Torty 360, Allentown 460, Zucconi 750, Surf Patrol 850, Strapping Profit 850, and then Millions, the other three. Take it
Yeah,
away.
looks a. Uh, I'll call it a. I'll call it a 4-horse race. I think three with two half chances. I think the three favourites, your obvious three, Naughty Torty came out first up and belted them in really, really good time. With the apprentice, so goes up in weight into a 3-year-old plate. And I think he's a horse who would have gone better with an apprentice on in this race, like a Chanel Cooper. Just not sure. I don't think Lucy will ride him handlebars down, which is what he seemed to thrive off first up in that race where he belted them. I think if you don't go too quick, you really invite Timeless Gem into the race outside you. Uh, if you run along, it makes it a lot harder for him. If you go slow, he'll get first access to those wider lanes and probably has a little bit more class at this stage of their careers. Allentown gets to sit nice and close to them. Was a good winner on a wet, choppy surface too back, and then last start just had the tempo against. Up in trip, Norton bit goes on. I think both of those help in this. Surf Patrol's been consistent against the older horses. Probably doesn't mind the sting out a little bit. Gets a nice soft gate to work with, but maybe just lacks a bit of the class. And Strapping Profit was behind Naughty Torty in that maiden, and then came out and won another maiden by 3. Um, and the
Yep.
rest can please
Yeah.
themselves.
That's pretty good summation. I've sort of landed with Timeless Gem. I think that win last week was 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, fortnight ago. Was really impressive. Probably gets the same conditions, albeit goes from barrier one into nine. And up 4 kilos won't make it easy. But I think if Brad can sort of get to the breeze and then sort of be the first one to find the outside lanes, there's no reason why Timeless Gem can't win again. Um, Zucconi was a good enough winner in the class one. Um, don't think I think this is going to be a bit harder for it.
I think she could have kept progressing if she'd gone to something easier than this
Yeah,
next.
yeah, yeah. I
Sort of
agree with
still
that.
learning it all. Doesn't really,
Yeah,
although it does, yeah, it doesn't really put them away. So might find it a good test to come up against some better horses. But I
yeah,
think you're getting a lot of pike tax in the single figure price.
yeah. I think so. Um, no, uh, no CJP on this meeting. He's in
Riding in
Malaysia.
Malaysia on
Yeah,
Sunday, yeah.
yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
Apparently they asked a few jocks.
Yeah, right. And only a couple of them said yes, or one of them.
One. Yep.
Yeah. Race number three is the 60 plus special conditions handicap over the 1400. We have Rockin Wonder 440, On Patrol 480, Linden's Gold 6, Platinum Shot 7, and double figures the rest of the tail. Take it away.
I think your Rockin Wonder will be leading as a favourite. I think that's a pretty safe bet with Victoria Corver on. I was about to say the Ryan Hill stable. A Ryan Hill, I'll call them affiliated stable, Elva. Ryan used to ride for her a lot, so I think that'll be your leader. Ran second to Fancy Red last start. Just probably looks a little bit short for a horse drawn 1 second up leader on a surface that may not really be suiting that. But we'll get a good advantage on. I think a lot of the other horses in the market, they're drawn wide, and I think they all will just go back in On Patrol, Linden's Gold, and Platinum Shot. May take a bit of the pressure out of the race. So looking more probably for a midfield type in this race, something drawn middle of the line, and Planet Cash, I thought really appealed as a chance in terms of his runs 2 and 3 back were really good in harder than this, and then last start raced outside his grade, got planted wide the trip, no cover, and that was probably a pass mark, all things considered. Comes back to 14, drops in grade, likes the wet, probably gets the right sort of spot. Thought he was a good chance in this. Rockin Wonder probably deserves to be favourite off some of his SPs from last prep in Saturday races, and that first up run behind Fancy Red looks pretty good now with her coming out and beating them in Belmont Oaks last week really nicely. On Patrol was a good winner. Would have liked him probably to be able to settle closer, but I think that might be offset by going 12 to 1400. And Platinum Shot and Linden's Gold have had longish preps and probably don't beat On Patrol from behind him, carrying more weight.
Yep. Yeah, has On Patrol turned the corner?
Perhaps.
Yes. First up,
I think Chris on helps.
yeah, I think it does. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have a look at Galati, Tash, Nick Nort in the 2 trials. Yeah. Now you got Chris on. Can Chris win the Metro Premiership, Jockey Premiership?
There's not a lot of meetings left to make happen. What's the gap now? I know it was 4.5 before Northam on Thursday, or 3.5 or
Yeah,
4.5.
makes it tight, makes it tough.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm happy to stick with On Patrol here. I think what he did last week, he can really go. He can sort of take that next step now. He's been teasing us a long time, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, he's always going to be a hard horse to have just with his racing pattern. But happy to go one more time with him and see how he goes. Race number 4 is 66 plus handicap for the Stayers, 2,231 meters.
Minimal interest.
$33 next.
$33 the field. Done with the Blues makes a lot of sense as favourite. Was a good first up winner. She likes to win fresh, and then the next 2 runs have maybe just been a little bit flat, but gets out to a trip now, likes the wet, gets Pike back from last start. Thought she made a lot of sense as favourite. Was actually surprised she wasn't a little bit shorter in the market with Pike. But not a race I'm desperate to dive into.
Completely agree. Race number 5 is a 60 plus over the 5 furlongs. We have Terratif, $3 returning, Snow God returning, $5. Amaro Star, $6, Art Session 7, Empress of India, 10. Third Emergency is $12. Real Deluxe 13, and Double Figures and up the rest. It's not a little
You got
it's not a bad little
first
race.
first emergency is $15.
First
Don't know why
Emergency
we.
is $13, yeah.
Yeah,
$15. Third Emergency's in the market. Rewiz.
this is a mess. This race is a mess. There's speed littered throughout the line, primarily wide out. Yeah, I think Art Session leads. Shades go on, gets a senior on Desert Dancing's come out and won again. That's if Nicely Played gets scratched, which I would really strongly assume it would. It's not only third emergency, it also raced on Wednesday. So thinking Art Session finds the front probably makes him hard enough to beat from that role, 3-year-old against the older horses. Terratif, I know she trialled really nicely, very short for her in a 1,000-meter race, and not only that, a deep 1,000-meter race. Snow God draws the outside, makes it harder, but he's got big wraps on him. His first up win was really good with no headgear, and second up, he had some little excuses, tipped straight out, looked after. Who else? Amaru Star looks a little bit short, drawn even wider than him. Got a bit lost down the 1,000 metre straight, but I thought that was a little bit short from the outside gate. Like I said, Scenic George seems to raise the bar every start, but again, I don't know how he gets into the race. There'll be a lot of horses who struggle to get into the race here. I think it'll be opened up a little bit by the fact that the outside lane should be in play, but over the 1,000, I still want a horse who's not being speared off.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I feel like Terratif was just incredible unders.
Yeah, she trialled an absolute bomb. And if you stuck her in a West Speed 12, she probably starts at $1.90 and wins. But
That's right. Really looking forward to the return of Snow God. Obviously, we've spoken a fair bit about him in his last prep. Barrier doesn't make it too easy for him. But that being said, I think he'll get back anyway.
yeah, well, I think if I'm Snow God and I'm race fit and I want to win, I'm just saying come out semi positive and look to try and be even four wide with cover is a realistic possibility.
Yeah, in this race, it probably is. Um, Absolutely. Um, and as much as I want to forgive Amaru Star, I don't think tomorrow is the day to forgive.
No.
I'm with you. I think Art Session looks a really good chance. Um, Obviously, drawn much kinder than most of the rivals, and probably going to have a decent head start on all of them. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, Art Session on top for me, followed by Snow God just with the wraps on it. Um, and then yeah, God knows what you do with the rest of them. Are you going to do Quaddy in the channel?
We can talk about it here.
Give it to the channel.
All right.
Yeah, the packs. Race number 672 plus over the 5 furlongs. Again, we have Desert Whisper, the Speed Demon, 210, Marty Girl 420, Hanchy 5, Sinful Living 950, Desert Nymph $14, and double figures the rest.
Slightly less of a mess here, but still plenty of speed. I think Ain't No Other Man will be doing his best to dig up underneath Desert Whisper, but she is a very quick stepper. So, first 10 to 15 meters will be very interesting. There was some minor queries about her crossing last start. She just flew down anyway. She's very quick. She used to be a little bit cantankerous at times, but I think that's offset by Lucy riding. I think Lucy probably does a good job to keep her nice and settled in the gates. But I think this week is the start. You're going to be diving in very short. She's up in grade against some nicer horses. Hanchy gets Chris, which I think is a massive positive. Maddie Girls beaten Desert Whisper both times. They raced each other and gets what would be massive weight swings off her because would have carried more at the stages they would have raced each other. Carries 54 here for William Pike after resuming with 60 kilos and not having a lot go right. So, and Simple Living, third in a bovine is a big effort for a horse like her. Gets into a winnable weight with Chanel, but I don't think she really gets a winnable map. I can't see her crossing Desert Whisper, and I think it sort of leaves her in no man's land. Might be able to park in behind Ain't No Other Man and Desert Whisper if Ain't No Other Man kicks right up. Otherwise, she's outside Desert Whisper, and I don't think that's particularly winnable either. I think Miss Flirtatious goes back in this. She's put in some good fresh runs before, but to win from where I'm thinking she'll be in last will be a hard effort. And Desert Nymph is a classy sort of a horse for a race like this, but 1,000 meters is short of her best. And happy to watch her first up. So I think if Desert Whisper crosses, she makes sense as favourite, but I'm not sure that she will. So probably more looking to play around with a couple just off the speed.
Yeah. What do you say about your boyfriend down the bottom, Songer?
He was better last start. I do prefer him fresh. Uh, if they're making a bit of ground, he'll really pique my interest. He gets through the wet. Like I say, last run was a bit better. Um, Another one who can take advantage of a bit of speed on.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You got a couple of things, and yeah, at $31, you don't really need to
You don't need
have
heaps
too
of
many
reasons to.
kicks. Hey,
You don't need heaps of reasons to
no,
have
no, that's
something.
right. Yeah, no, that's right. He is a 1,000 meter horse. He loves the speed on, so he'll sit back, he'll let him fight, and I would not, it wouldn't shock me to see him flurry down the outside at his second Bunbury attempt. Um, Being said, Desert Whisper had his measure first up, so uh,
That was, yeah, that was a race where they dominated against the fence. Desert Whisper just ran them
yeah,
along and
yeah.
didn't give anything in the wider lanes a look in. So, um,
How the turntables.
how it tables indeed.
Race number 7 is the feature, the Bolton Sprint over 1,200. Wind of the line $3. Rockin Rupert 460. Man Crush 550. Fanta 850. Baby Paris 9. Fast Art 11. Pulley 16. Gemma's Sun 17. Mood Swings 23. And Toropa scratched.
Yes, and anyone watching my camera got my live reaction to seeing Taropa be scratched because that came through half an hour ago, right? Yeah, good. Um,
Gross.
I don't know where to start now.
Yeah.
Um, she made a lot of sense as favourite. I thought a lot of the others had convictions. Wind in the line, drawn one on the surface. Man Crush, I'm not a big fan of first up. Not a big fan of in the wet. Baby Paris, I know she was against what turned out to be the worst part of the track in that race, but she was still pretty plain. Shades come off, which I don't like. Fast Art trial, shocking. It's probably a little bit harsh, but for coming into a 12. First up, Rockin Rupert won a 1,200 metre trial by 16 lengths, beat two horses who can't walk. But did have some good form from last prep. Barrier 10, I thought made it hard to beat Taropa because he'd be behind her, but Taropa's not here anymore. And um, I made a bit of a case for Pulley in the Beaufort after winning it last year, and maybe just didn't like the straight. Was drawn a bit wider. He probably can lead this and or breeze and roll away up the straight. Might
He,
be
he was
a
he was
thing.
actually okay. He
Yeah,
was yeah, he was okay. The
I
son
think
of
you
Dick
can
Turpin.
forgive the greatest Dick Turpin to ever
Ooh,
grace a racetrack.
ooh,
I'll die
Dick,
on that sword.
Dickoletto,
Nah, Pull,
Dickoletto.
Pulley would beat Dicoletto for breakfast.
Oh boy. Oh,
There's only one Pulley.
there's only one Dickoletto. God, what a horse.
Yeah, minimal.
Interest now.
Yeah, well, I just don't know. I need to redo basically the entire race. So,
Yeah. Oh, I'll never
what a
forget.
shame.
I'll never forget the summer of 2018 Australia Day. Dickoletto on debut.
Mm.
Good times. That Bunbury.
I'll never forget Pulley winning his maiden by 4.
What date?
Great question. A long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, look, I am really not interested in this race anymore.
Yeah, I was happy to be relatively short to Roper with convictions on the majority of the field, and she looked to have a bit of class, but she's not here anymore, so it doesn't matter.
That's it. That's lame. That's what that is.
Mm.
Um, oh, look, I guess I could probably, make a case for Man Crush. Probably goes forward. Trial was okay.
No
Um,
shades, but
no,
you know.
Um, Handles the wet relatively okay. Um, like he's got positive maps, so yeah. But the race is lame now. And the last of the day, 60 plus over 1400. Uncle Gerard, $5. Climb on top, 550. Border Force, 650. Lombardina, 650. Antique Star, 750. Housewife, 850. Double figures the rest.
Nice open race to finish the day.
That's it. Very,
Uncle
very
Gerard
open.
as favourite is intriguing. I sort of get it on the backup. Back in trips, okay, I think on the backup. Just doesn't like to win. Um, but he's going undeniably well. Border Force, another Casey horse who gets Chris for the first time this prep, maps pretty well. Antique Star for the powerful Michael Grantham yard. Um, Trials were just okay. I suspect it'll go better on race day. First up at 1400. First up, last prep at 1400. Just got worried out of it when Tallangatta got to a walk around in front, and then second up sat four wide throughout. So, right near the minimum, has a bit of appeal. Housewife flopped first up as favourite, and then was a good run second up and absolutely belted them last start when getting a couple of splits. Lombardina was pretty short first up. Didn't do enough for mine to really want to back up at single figures. Climb on top is your second favourite. I don't think he really likes the wet. I don't think his runs have been that good. Um, I don't have a real strong opinion. I thought Border Force probably had, and an Antique Star probably had the most appeal in this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was stumped because this race is incredibly open and difficult. And like many probably know, I don't deal with difficult too well. More of
Nah,
like a
we look.
straight up and down.
I like standout morals.
Yeah, me too. Um, and it doesn't seem like we get any of them in this race.
When
Um,
Uncle Jared's favourite, you absolutely do not get standout morals.
no, I think the morals might have to wait for Royal Carnarvon, the Royal
Minimally a
Narv
sprint
on
day.
Sunday.
What's the over underline on Brett Pope winners?
2.5,
He won
three and a
four of the
half.
six last meeting.
Hey,
He won
yeah,
four
you
of the
did.
six
Yeah,
last meeting.
no, it's not a quick drive for Brett Pope.
Nah, he's staying up there though.
Oh, is he
Yeah, yeah.
soaking in some
They
sun?
spoke to him about it after he won a race a couple of weeks ago at Bunbury. Goes up there this time of year, gets out of the cold for a bit. I can
Smart,
respect it. Smart
smart.
man.
Unlike some who decide to go to Coolgardie.
Mm. But I don't know any of them, so
All right. Well, yeah, I have nothing. That's $33 for me in the last. Um, Tough meeting overall, to be honest.
mm.
It's not like anything really stands out too much. Mm,
I
I
think the only
mean,
thing again, you'd need Ain't No Other Man to get scratched, but that would probably see Desert Whisper stand out. But it'd be like last week where when the scratchings came through, she got back pretty quickly. So she'd probably be $1.70 if Ain't No Other Man came out.
yeah, that's right. All right. Thank you, Toby. Obviously your Saturday prices, they out.
No, I was in Bunbury yesterday, and then I'm out all today, so I'll only be able to do on the day prices this week, unfortunately.
No dramas. You'll be on track tomorrow. Get down there. Toby will buy you a beer. Mounting Yard.
Only between 3 and 4 p.m. happy hour. $5 cans.
Oh, you are the best. You are the best.
Right. I'd just like to have one because you can't afford not to.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Toby. I will speak to you later. And yeah, everyone get in the chat room for Royal Nav on Sunday because Toby will be sending
And
us
Royal
tickets.
Derby in the meantime,
Ooh,
after
let's
the
get
exploits of Vinsky last year.
Ooh, yes. Let's get it. All right. See you, Toby.
Goodbye, Kev.